Welcome to Alan Colmes Versus, where we discuss some of the more controversial things said in the recent news cycle on both traditional and digital media, the epitome of what we like to call around here fair and balanced. Joining me today, Fox News contributor and founder of the blacksphere.net, Kevin Jackson. Welcome, Kevin. We can both agree that Hillary Clinton killed Donald Trump in that debate on Monday night, right, Kevin?
Yeah. It depends on how the definition of is, right, Alan?
No, but he won. I mean, she beat him. I mean, she was much better. There was no question about that, correct?
There's a total question about that. And you know, look, people are going to spin it any way they want. Hillary didn't make any more fans, I don't think. Certainly you're not going to diminish what Trump did. His fans are dyed in the wool. Hillary, you know, maybe she got a couple of Bernie or bust people to finally take those signs out of their front yard, but I don't know.
Wait a minute, did Trump make any more fans?
I think he did. You know, it's funny. One of the things that happened that I thought was kind of interesting was the whole birther thing and Hillary making that about race. And I found it almost, it was incredulous. It was kind of demeaning as a black person to say, well, he attacked Obama because of not providing a birth certificate and making that about race, when in fact it could have been an Irishman. In
oh, come on, wait a minute. When has any other president been asked to produce a birth certificate saying, okay, he must have been born in Kenya? You as a black American are saying you don't believe this was about race?
Of course it wasn't. Well, McCain got questioned about race because he was born in Panama.
No, he wasn't questioned. That was because his father was in the military. He was born in Panama. There was no birther movement. There's been a 6-year birther movement. Can you explain this, Kevin? 6 years. For 6 years, Trump has done this. After Obama produced a second birth certificate, even after that, you had Trump saying, I don't believe it's the real one. And now he's saying, look, I put it to rest because I got Obama to reveal the second birth certificate. Now, all of a sudden, he accepts it. Although for 6 years he said that's not the real birth certificate. Can you explain that?
The bigger issue was it was a Hillary Clinton created.
No, it's not. That's a lie. That's been discredited. That's absolutely untrue.
Hillary actually. Okay, well, and if you want me to get a word in,
but you got to tell the truth. You can't. I mean, it's just not true.
Telling the truth. Hillary Clinton started the birther thing.
She did not.
She said a word, and like most Democrats, she wanted to push it off on the white guy.
Kevin, Hillary Clinton, this has already been discredited, already been proven, did not start it. In fact, she fired people from her campaign in 2008 who actually promoted it. She had nothing to do with it. This may have been started by Hillary supporters, but not by Hillary Clinton.
You want me to say that black people should be offended because people were questioning Barack Obama's...
Well, most black people are. Maybe you're different, but most African Americans see this as racist. But certainly we know Hillary Clinton did not start this.
You speak on behalf of most African Americans, which, by the way, are just black people. I don't believe Alan Colmes can do that. I think you can speak on the few tangential and anecdotal people that you've talked about, but you can't speak on behalf of the black race. How can you do that?
I'm simply reflecting to you. I'm telling you what most African Americans are saying, and you know that to be true.
You are not.
You know, most African Americans are not supporting Donald Trump.
You don't know what
like
most blacks are. Alan, I live in the hood. You do not. I guarantee you, you can't tell me what most black people are saying.
Are you going to tell me that most African Americans support Donald Trump?
I'm not going to tell you that because most blacks vote Democrat, but that doesn't mean they support Hillary Clinton. What it means is they support the Democratic, policies of indoctrination. But they don't support Hillary Clinton. In fact, I'll make you a bet, Alan. Hillary Clinton won't get 80% of the Barack Obama black vote.
Well, most Democratic candidates get 92% of the African American vote.
He won't get 80%.
You know that Donald Trump can't win, right?
Well, I guess we'll find that out in November, won't we?
But why would you, as an African American man, support a guy whose company was sued in the 70s for violating housing rights? He called blacks lazy, didn't want blacks on the floor of his casinos when he walked out there. This has all been written by people who work with Donald Trump. Why would you support this person? Refers to a guy as my African American.
So here's the question I would ask you. Why would I support a person who called the member of the KKK her friend and mentor, who took an award,
Hillary. I'm talking about Trump.
Who wanted to kill babies?
I didn't ask you about Hillary. I asked you about Trump.
Called black people human weeds.
I asked you about Trump. That woman? I asked you about Trump, not Hillary.
But I don't have to. First of all, the stuff you talk about with Trump is nonsense. Nothing that you're talking about proves that Trump is a racist. Trump he hangs out with black people. Jesse Jackson actually had him there and gave him an award. Why don't you talk about...
I interviewed Jesse Jackson this week. He's supporting Hillary Clinton.
He did. And let me ask you a question, Alan. If Donald Trump had said that a member of the KKK was his friend and mentor, and if Donald Trump had accepted an award from somebody who called black people human weeds, Then
You're going back 40 years to Robert Byrd, who's renounced the KKK. Who
He
spent
was
his
in the
years
KKK.
as a liberal Democrat. What about a guy who keeps retweeting white supremacists and embraces their support and may believe he didn't know who David Duke was? You got a problem with that?
Who cares who David Duke was? I gave you
But he lied about it. Of course he knew who David Duke was.
definitive reasons why I should not vote for Hillary Clinton as a Democrat who supported a member of the KKK, who accepted an award from a woman who called black people human weeds.
You're grasping at straws and ignoring all the things Donald Trump has
call him a
said.
racist.
Well, look, we're going to have to talk in November, and we'll see what happens on November 8th. Kevin, thank you very much. Be sure to follow Kevin on Twitter at Kevin Jackson TBS. I'm Alan Colmes. Thanks for watching.